Okay, let's get this right here. This is kind of a last minute little video here, but I understand that we've created a little bit of a controversy around hospital issued scrubs, and it really shouldn't be. It's a kind of a no-brainer. And if any of you folks there on the front line are curious about this and how this plays out, you may have seen me videotaping my little phone call with Janet Pestle at United, and the kind of fallout of that, me being brought down to HR and investigatory meetings and that sort of thing. And you might be a little nervous about like the idea that you might be disciplined or harassed or intimidated or called out for doing something that should be not only routine, but is a minimal, absolute minimal intervention for patient safety and workplace safety and honestly public health. Because it doesn't really take an epidemiologist to know that like the reason we have drop precautions in any unit in the hospital is because pathogens land on our stuff and then can be moved and transported to other patient rooms across the ER. And of course, anytime you're creating a larger area of contamination with any pathogen, you're risking patients and coworkers and the public. So that's a no-brainer. Right? The idea that you should be bringing in your private scrubs into an area of known contamination this late in the COVID game is gross negligence at best. The doctors are already wearing scrubs. EVS is wearing hospital-issued scrubs. And nurses, of course, were the ones with the most amount of patient contact, and this issue of hospital scrubs is somehow a lightning rod problem for administration, which is just, frankly, bullshit. So just so folks know, yes, according to the Nursing Practice Act, you need to advocate for your patients. According to OSHA standards, you need a safe workplace and you have the right to a safe workplace. And when I was brought down to HR, I got this, my director and my manager gave me these policies about social media that suggested that I had done something wrong about calling public attention to the fact that we aren't being issued these things. Both of those policies are completely and totally irrelevant. They have nothing to do with this. And there's another thing that I did not mention in that HR meeting, and this is something important to all of you healthcare workers that care about patients and care about the public and your coworkers, is that when you bring a problem of workplace safety to your administrators and they do nothing, you are entitled and right to go to the public to expose that safety violation. It's whistleblower protections, it's federal labor law. And so, like, we're so behind the game, I can't believe I'm even addressing this right now. But the fact of the matter is, you are absolutely within your right to not just demand, but grab the protective gear that you want. And you don't have to run it by HR. You don't have to run it by the corporate attorneys who are worried about litigation that is inevitable as they keep risking us over and over and over again. You are absolutely standing by your moral and legal mandate as a nurse or as EVS or as registration or as a doctor to acquire the protective gear that you need. And if you have if your administration has a problem with it, make sure you get that problem in writing, because what they want to do is keep this stuff verbal and off of the public record, and we know why. Because the corporate attorneys are shitting their pants right now. And we are too, but for very different reasons. So protect yourself, protect your family. Do not take this virus home with you in a in a plastic bag that your manager has requested you do. Grab the protective gear that you want, and among that is the scrubs that we're talking about. But let's get through this. Let's pull together, make sure we protect our families and ourselves, and let's very shortly talk about what real protective gear looks like and the protocols we need. We're going to be putting out a new video here soon at like my little podcast called We Did the Work about your legal rights as frontline healthcare workers, that it'll be informed by our labor attorney that we have now retained. So for one, thank you for what you do. All the love to you, and don't be scared of these folks. Stand up and do what you know what to do, and carry it with you. See ya.